Look like Tommy Rees is telling the truth about Sheduer Sanders potentially playing and what is speaking about Sheduer Sanders and his offense. Now, we know the Browns offense cannot get going in any shape, form, or fashion. It is pretty much a nightmare out there for this team. Now, Tommy Rees spoke with the media today and let some cats...
Brace yourself. Cleveland's offense is a circus without a ringmaster, and the loudest act right now is a rookie everyone thinks should be center stage. Imagine the stadium lights focused on Sheduer Sanders, viral clips, effortless throws, the kind of swagger that makes fans scream for a quarterback change.
Say this, I came to Cleveland to work for Kevin. That's really the reason I took this job 2 years ago. Think the world of him, still think the world of him. Really, fortunate for the support he's given me over the last week, the support he's had for me over the last couple of years. I wanted to come to Cleveland to work for Kevin. I think the timing of it, you have a bye week, you have some time to step away and look at things through a different perspective and want to create a spark for the offense. And, again, how I feel is whatever they want me to do, whatever's asking me to help us win games, that's what I want to do at the height.
That's what Tommy Rees delivered when he stepped up to the podium. No promises, no headline-ready hype, just a blunt breakdown about reps, protection, timing, and the ugly truth that the NFL does not care about highlight reels when the system underneath them is falling apart.
Thing to this Sheduer not getting first-team reps?
I think it's a little bit strange.
Yeah.
You
do think it? So you think it is?
I mean,
okay.
the guy's
right.
one turned ankle one concussion check from upstairs. Drake May had to leave the game for 2 plays last week because the upstairs they thought he had a concussion. Right. So how could he not get 1 rep during the week? Now, just because that's the answer doesn't mean that's what...
Fans saw the clips of Sheduer diming receivers in practice, watched radio hosts swear he's already better than what's on the field, and then witnessed the team continue to give real game reps to Dillon Gabriel. That contradiction lit the fuse for this entire drama. Viral footage says one thing, coach decisions say the opposite. Rees didn't hide behind cliches. He talked about maximizing limited reps, about Sheduer studying, about the offense needing all 11 players to stop making basic mistakes.
Everybody else that we talked to have said that Sheduer looks good. He looks really good.
Yes.
He looks better. And we got Zach that say Dillon Gabriel ain't even an NFL quarterback.
That's true.
So how is it that this man can't get a rep with the ones, but that non-NFL quarterback can?
We all
what
agree
sense
with that.
does that make?
It makes no sense.
Clearly, the guys running the team disagree with us.
Man,
it doesn't make any
and they're
sense.
the ones.
What are y'all trying to? What is the goal?
And he did it with the tone of a man who's not trying to win the internet, just trying to survive Sunday. He came from Notre Dame and Alabama, where quarterbacks ate defenses alive. Now he's in Cleveland steering an offense that looks like it was built out of spare parts. Protection issues, miscommunication, blown throws, dropped passes. This unit makes everything harder than it needs to be. Sheduer's talent is real, but Rees sees what fans don't. If the pocket collapses in 2 seconds, if receivers can't separate, if timing is off on every route, then even a superstar prospect becomes cannon fodder. That's why game reps are going to the guy who has lived the system longer, who has taken hits, who has handled the speed. Fans hate it, but coaches see it as survival. And here's the twist. Rees isn't down on Sheduer at all. He believes in him.
As opportunities, even if there aren't a ton of reps to go around, you got to be creative with how you create some extra reps, specifically to get Sheduer ready if you can't get a bunch of reps there. So the good news is both guys are bought in and doing a good job of working hard and understanding how important those opportunities are, to be ready for the team. So it is a unique situation. I don't know how many times it's probably happened, but probably not a lot. And we have the right 2 guys mentally right now in their demeanor and how they're prepping and how...
He said both quarterbacks are bought in, studying, grinding, prepping. But belief is not the same as readiness. A quarterback isn't developed by dropping him into a burning building and hoping he finds the exit. He's developed by building structure around him, protection calls, route timing, chemistry, and a passing rhythm that doesn't disappear every other snap. That's why Rees's entire message was about fundamentals. Cut the drops, fix the blocking angles, create consistency, engineer controlled reps for Sheduer, and let the system catch up before unleashing the kid. And that message, slow, methodical, unsexy, made the internet furious. Fans want fireworks. Rees is delivering blueprints, but sometimes the blueprint matters more than the explosion. And that's where the tension is boiling.
That's not my place, to answer, to even be able to give the answer to that. I feel like it's not in my control. So I'm not even going to think about that or have that even in my thought process of why it is. Like, it's a lot of people that want to have the opportunity to be at this level, and I'm here, and I'm thankful to have the opportunity. So whenever that is, it is. But it doesn't make me feel down, or it doesn't make me feel left out or anything, because I know who I am as a person. I know who I am as an individual.
Rees didn't come to Cleveland to play into fan fantasy. He came to rebuild something that's been broken so long, it barely resembles an NFL offense. That's why he talked about rhythm like it was oxygen, why he spoke about using the bye week to reset, why he emphasized knowing the system before touching the field. To fans, those answers sound like excuses. To coaches, those answers are the plan. Because right now, the offense is drowning. The protection has more leaks than a cracked aquarium. The receivers are inconsistent, the timing is scattered, and nothing stays stable long enough to evaluate a rookie fairly. And that's the truth no one wants to hear. Sheduer isn't sitting because he's bad. He's sitting because the environment around him is chaos. Throw him in now and you risk breaking him, not building him. Fans see potential, Rees sees conditions. Fans see highlights, Rees sees protections. And because of that,
thrown in situations against some tough competition, tough guys. So that goes to show you that Dillon Gabriel is getting all the reps in training camp and in practice. Because Tommy Rees just said himself, he's been thrown in situations with some stiff competition. That means that he's going up against the first team Cleveland Browns defense in practice. Sheduer Sanders doesn't get them opportunities.
Rees is taking the slow route, the developmental route, the route that doesn't hand reps out like candy, but calculates every snap to preserve confidence and build a real foundation. Meanwhile, the fan base is ready to mutiny. They've seen practice clips, they've heard insiders say Sheduer looks sharp, they've seen Dillon Gabriel struggle in real action, and they want the rookie now. They want hope now. They want a spark now. But Rees has been around long enough to know the NFL destroys young quarterbacks if you throw them into chaos unprepared. He's not playing politics. He's not hiding some secret agenda. He's simply refusing to feed a rookie to a broken system. That's why his blunt honesty shook the entire fan base. Because he told the truth everyone else danced around. The Browns don't need a miracle. They need a foundation. They don't need a hero. They need execution. They don't need a quarterback change. They need a functioning offense.
It doesn't make sense that he's a second string now and he's not getting any first team reps. It also doesn't make sense that he's not being considered to play any games this year, regardless of what we've been hearing. But this is the first time I've actually heard something that has to do with the planning and the development of any of the Browns quarterbacks, especially when it comes to Sheduer. They are being honest. Well, he is being honest. Tommy Rees is being honest with saying that, like, look, he's not going to get a ton of looks, but we're going to maximize.
And when you zoom out, everything Rees is doing makes sense. He's the mechanic tightening bolts, fixing alignment, adjusting timing, and refusing to let fans push him into starting a quarterback before the engine underneath him is even safe to drive. And here's the final twist. The moment the system is clean, the protection is stable, and the offense breathes again, Sheduer will walk onto that field not as a desperate gamble, but as the reward for doing it right. Not as a savior for a disaster, but as the final piece of a system built to last. That's why Rees's honesty matters. Because in a league where hype ruins careers and pressure destroys development, he's choosing the long game. And when Sheduer finally steps under center, whether this year or next, it won't be because the fans demanded it. It'll be because the team is finally ready for the quarterback they drafted. And in Cleveland, a franchise built on chaos and heartbreak, that patience might actually be the biggest miracle of all.
The offensive coordinator just came out and said, because like I told you guys, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors with this Sheduer Sanders situation, man. Because we've seen footage of him in practice lighting it up. We've seen media reports. We've seen the fan out there in Cleveland on their radio show, in their podcast, talking about Sheduer Sanders is lighting it up in practice. And a lot of people have been at practice and they seeing what Dillon Gabriel is doing and they saying he's...
But here's where the story flips again. Because just when fans think Rees is hiding Sheduer behind a wall of excuses, the deeper truth starts leaking out from everywhere inside the building. Players, beat reporters, even radio hosts keep dropping hints that Sheduer is showing things in practice that this franchise hasn't seen in years. The arm talent, the timing, the confidence, the ability to throw receivers open. Those traits aren't myths, they're real. So if the rookie looks that sharp
here, but you know what? It makes sense now. Because the first few people, and when I say few, I mean 4 or 5 people that y'all put in front of the media when y'all ask about Sheduer, other than saying I don't know or no, you actually gave a thought out plan that we can go with. We understand that he's a second string. We understand that he didn't come into the season a second string, but at least be a professional and give us a plan on how you plan on developing him if you're gonna.
Why isn't he getting the keys? That question is fueling every conspiracy theory in Cleveland right now. Some fans swear the team is protecting him from the offensive line. Others think Rees wants to reshape the offense first before showing the league what Sheduer really is. And then there's the wild theory floating around that Stefanski is blocking the transition because changing quarterbacks this early would expose how broken the offense truly is. Whatever the truth is, the energy around Sheduer has reached a boiling point. Every day he takes scout team reps instead of first team snaps, the volume of outrage grows louder. Every time Gabriel throws another wobbling pass into traffic, fans scream louder that the team is sabotaging the rookie. The fan base is split between patience and fury, and Rees is standing in the middle trying to hold both ends together while keeping his long-term plan intact.
I don't understand at all. Maybe they think to themselves, we don't need to give you these many practice reps because we're going to give you a bunch of game reps. So maybe we just want to get you rested. He is coming off a sore shoulder and all those things. So maybe that's the case. I don't know. But I don't like it that much. I don't at all. I think that going into this game, sitting some of the best wide receivers that you have is kind of diminishing him a little bit as well because I want to see.
But Rees's approach isn't blind loyalty to the system. It's a chess move. He talked about trust, timing, and getting the entire offense aligned before unleashing the kid. To most people, that sounds like a slow crawl. In reality, it's a setup. Rees is quietly reshaping protections, tweaking route depths, giving receivers new spacing rules, tightening running back responsibilities, and drilling the offensive line on blitz pickups. All the unsexy details that don't go viral. And guess who benefits the most when everything is finally synced? Not Gabriel, not the backups. It's Sheduer, the rookie with the ceiling everyone is afraid to talk about because they don't want to look delusional.
How can this kid that was rated as a late first-round draft pick not get on the field for a team that sucks? They're not even giving him reps. That's on the coach, man. Stefanski's going to have to answer for that, and it might come at the end of the year, and it might come in the form of firing. What is going on? Does he have I don't want to pick on Kevin.
When Rees says he's maximizing reps, this is what he means. He's creating controlled windows, red zone reps, 2-minute drills, blitz identification periods. The kinds of reps that teach a young quarterback not just how to throw, but how to control chaos. And while fans think those limited reps are a punishment, Rees sees them as concentrated development. Less volume, more value. It's the same method top programs use to prepare quarterbacks before they become household names. And here's the part everyone keeps missing. Sheduer isn't frustrated. He's hungry. He knows the plan. He knows his moment will come. You can hear it in his interviews. Calm, focused, unfazed by the noise exploding around him. That's the mindset of a quarterback who isn't waiting to be handed something, but preparing to take it when the moment is perfect. And that's the storm quietly building behind this entire storyline. The Browns' offense is being rewired. The rookie is being sharpened behind the scenes. And the entire league has no idea what's coming once the two sides finally collide. Because when a system is finally ready and a quarterback is fully prepared, that's when seasons flip, narratives crumble, and careers ignite. That's when a rookie stops being a question mark and becomes the answer everyone remembers. And that moment is coming faster than the league thinks. It's just hidden behind the noise, waiting for the right week, the right matchup, and the right spark to unleash everything Cleveland has been quietly building.